Welcome everybody, this is Dave and he's out on the trail again. Now I am no longer associated with Double Diamond Productions. What a bunch of losers they were. I am now hooked up with Little Wolf Productions. And they're sponsoring this video presentation today. Our destination is to get up on top of that mountain right there, stand up in those rocks, and look out upon the Selkirk crest. Now the footage you just saw was shot very close to where I'm standing right here today, and I have a client with me today, and let's go talk to her and see what her expectations are for today to be in the Idaho backwoods. This is my client today. This is Paula Wilson. Now, I know what you're thinking, Dave, she looks just like a little woman. What are you bringing a little woman into Idaho backwoods? Well, Paula is a 50-something, 5'4", 120-pound female, and you're thinking, isn't it awfully rough for her? Now, she's gorgeous, mind you, but it's all about the guide that you pick. Pick a qualified guide for these trips. Now, Paula has been outfitted with looks like a monster four-wheeler, a 4x4 300, four-wheel drive, automatic transmission, easy for a little woman. And it also looks like Paula is strapped with some hardware, and I think it looks like she's got a little buck knife there for slicing and dicing. She's got nice hips too. And it looks like she's packing some heat. Okay, let's walk over here and see what kind of little gun she's carrying. If my client would, why don't you show us what kind of gun you're carrying today? Oh yeah, that's a nice gun. Is it loaded?
Of course.
Yep, sure is. Little 5-shot revolver, easy to carry on the hip. Okay, you feel comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Now it just so happens that I acquired Paula in 1983. I got her on sale for $1 million, and I'm still making the payments on that today. So, and I got no complaints. This turned out to be a fairly good investment. So I'm taking my client, wink, wink. We're headed up, as I said. No, we're not headed up to that ridge. We are headed up to that ridge right up there to be up in the rocks. There's a four-wheeler trail going up, so the expectation is to be up there, look upon the Selkirk crest, and have a good time doing it. So if y'all don't have anything better to do, why don't you hang with Dave and Paula today and be on the trail with them. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dave, you're hooked up with a beautiful client today. What about today's contents? All of Dave's videos are rated KG for kinda good. Now, there's really nothing like cruising the high ground here on monster four-wheelers, and because it's such a spectacular view up here. And here comes my client riding on the four-wheeler. What a spectacular view in the background. Okay, and never leave your client alone. So I better get with it. Now this is where the trail gets a little tricky. And at some point we're probably going to stop and get out and walk and play it safe. Now I had been up there all the way on the four-wheeler, but got a client with me today, so I got to take it easy. Well, we're on foot now, and now we can see our destination. in the background, we're headed up to the rocks right up there to look out upon the Selkirk Crest. And as usual, I've left my client alone, so I better go get up with her again. Okay, we broke the tree line, and we're going to take a little bit of a breather. The rocks in the background is where we're going, and wait a minute, my producer's talking in my ear. This is not in the script. We're not on schedule. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm going to have to ad-lib. All right, he's telling me we're going to have to ad-lib a little bit, so I'm going to have to get creative. She's a little tired. I'm a little tired, but we're still pretty psyched. We're going to be heading up to the top of the mountain there and looking over the top, and it's a spectacular view, and I'm hoping you viewers at home are going to hang in with us and see the challenges that we face. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're real close to the top right now, and this is a view looking east to where we're going. As I said, we broke the tree line. We're on the upper ridge of this place where we're going, and back in the early 60s there was a tremendous fire through here, as you can see, and this is what happened to these trees up here. This was called the Sundance Fire, although this is not Sundance, and where we're going to be going is standing eventually right up on top of those rocks, and it's awfully windy up there, but that's where my client wanted to go today, so I have a professional obligation to take her, since I'm now with Little Wolf Production Company, located outside of Priest River in the pristine Hoodoo Valley. So, and my client's telling me that she pays really well, so if you want to spend time with Dave on the trail, all you got to do is call 555-DAVE. Operator will be standing by to process information, and before you know it, you too will be on the trail with Dave. Boy, it is nice and cool and breezy up here, and this is kind of a look back at where we have been coming up this ridge line here, and then that tree, the dark tree line down there is where we came across, and we just been switchbacking this up right here to get up to the top, and we're almost there, and it'll be something to see once we get to that point. So we'll be right back with you. Mr. Bluebird sitting up on top of a old dead tree. He's got something in his mouth. Okay, we're almost at the top here. These are not the rocks that we want to be on top of, but this is a kind of a unique shot here, as I will carefully take and try to pan around and show you. And this is pretty questionable footing right here, and it is windy. As you can see, this is a bowl, and my lens cap is flopping around, and there's snow down there still, and this is July 5th, '03, and we've almost made it to our destination. And my client tells me that even though she doesn't weigh much anyway, that you're going to have to shake the sheets to find her tonight. So okay, we're gonna keep on going. We are now making our way to the top, and it is breezy and it is very cool.
Oh my God! Oh, it's gorgeous! You can see forever.
Looks like she's standing in heaven, doesn't it? Up there in the clouds. It is breezy. Hold on now.
Holy cow, it's straight down over there.
Hold on.
Holy cow! Wow.
Well, we made it to the top. Right above about 7,000 feet. Man, as you can tell, the wind is howling up here as it usually does. And I got my client up here safely. And I'm going to turn around here. There is my beautiful client. The Selkirk crest in the background, as you can see. This little purple flowers up down here, I think we're calling them as lupine, if you can see them. The tall one's a lupine, okay. And it is a spectacular view up here. Selkirk crest in the background. As you can still see, there's snow out here in the high country, here, even here in July, and that would be looking out north towards Canada. Alright, a little bit more footage here coming up. There's the south end of Priest Lake, and as we pan around here, in a previous episode with Dave on the trail, he made it to the lookout tower. And where is it? You see that lookout tower? Get a glimpse of it. Now while we take a break, why don't you go with Dave and Paula while we take a break up here and do something with this wind. And we'll be right back with you. Now that lookout tower was pretty interesting, wasn't it? There are always college kids manning those every year during the summertime, during fire season, so we were fortunate that day that we went up there and got hooked up. And on the way down, not as stormy here, client's still looking good. Got some battle fatigue, but kind of an interesting setting here in front of this old tree. So we're going to keep working our way on down. We're headed back down the trail, and there's a grouse in the trail with a little baby chick. See it? The chick is right off to the right. Kind of interesting. And she's going to fly away any minute. There might be another chick there, we just don't quite know. We're not too far from the monster four-wheeler, so we'll take and walk here a minute and see what happens. Well, we don't want to spook them too much, so we're just going to sidestep them.
It's a big one.
Okay, this is Dave. We finally made it back down to the Monster four-wheelers today. Now today started out at Priest River at about 7 o'clock. We had a complimentary breakfast, and we left from there and we drove out here to the endowment lands, and then we got off from the bottom, went up with Monster four-wheelers up to this side right here, and then we trekked it on all the way up to the top of the mountain as you saw. Been a spectacular day, and right now it is 1:40. So that's how long we've been out today. We didn't suffer really any injuries or have any bad mishaps. It's been a wonderful day. And if you want to spend time in the North Idaho woods with an experienced guide, well, if you can't find somebody like that, talk to me. I might do something for you. I'm located in the Hoodoo Valley outside of Priest River, Idaho. Little Wolf Productions, and that number is 555 Dave. And this is Dave, and we'll take and see you on the trail next time.